Journalist George Negus famously stirred up the British Prime Minister during an interview for Nine's 60 Minutes in 1981. Take a listen.
Why do people stop us in the street almost and tell us that Margaret Thatcher isn't just inflexible, she's not just single-minded, on occasion she's plain pig-headed and won't be told by anyone?
Would you tell me who has stopped you in the street and said that?
Ordinary Britons.
Where?
In conversation.
But I thought you'd
pubs.
just come from Belize.
Oh, this is not the first time we've been here.
Will you tell me who and where and when?
Ordinary Britons in restaurants,
How
in
many?
cabs.
How many?
I would say at least 1 in 2.
I'm sorry, it's an expression I've never heard.
And George Negus spoke to the Today Show this morning. Here's some of what he had to say about that famous exchange.
I think the suggestion was she'd never been spoken to like that before. In fact, it took a while, colonial boy, to do it. But it got quite a reaction at the time in the UK itself, because she ran the place with the proverbial iron fist, the Iron Lady, and she didn't like being questioned. It was as clear as a bell that she didn't. In fact, I got the pig-headed line as a result of reading a magazine article by her son, or about her son, where he said they didn't have arguments at home, they had walkovers, and she always won. And I asked her later in the interview, was that the way she was running the country? She was, a very fine line between being strong-willed and just pig-headed. There was a lot of things going on in England at the time, whether it was the unions or other things, that made the place look like an economic crap heap, to be honest. And what she did was needing to be done, but whether she needed to do it the way she did it is the question that history is going to ask. I mean, being tough is one thing, but smashing people's lives is another again. And the underclass in England, which is people who've not had a job 3 generations in a family, are one of the results of Margaret's policies. Tony Blair came in and sounded a bit like Margaret Thatcher in drag, but he took the edge off those policies and humanised them. But she was strong, and the country needed a strong leader at the time. What we have to ask ourselves historically is whether she needed to be as strong as she was, and there's a difference between being strong and being brutal.